Good morning and welcome to my campsite at Laura Lake Campground in the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest. I'm going to give you a full tour of this campground. It's very lovely and there are a lot of great waterfront sites. So let's take a quick look through here. Obviously, I've got a really large site. I feel very lucky to have gotten it. It had been raining yesterday and I could see that a big vehicle had been parked here yesterday and must have left just before I got here. So I got lucky. It's a first come first served site and I was able to grab this wonderful site right down by the water. I'm way at the back end of the campground here. There's one other site way over there, and I got nothing over there for quite a ways. But this is what's off the back of the site. And the site right up there comes down to this basically a point of the lake. Now, what's really nice about this lake and this part of the National Forest is I have been to a lot of them recently. And most of the lakes, when you looked out on the lake, you saw all the private residences and all the other boats that would be zipping around on a beautiful day. This lake doesn't have that. And what that gives us is a trail that goes all the way around the lake. And I'm actually on the trail right here. They're marked with blue markers. And that's something that I was missing on all the other campsites, campgrounds I looked at, is that there was no good trails. Wonderful campgrounds, no trails, nothing to do, just sit at your campsite and maybe a really nice beach. But sometimes you want to go for a walk, and this place has it. So a lot of the sites that are along the water, they're near the water, they have that trail running behind them, so don't think it's your personal space. Someone's going to be walking by on that trail. Let's go look at the whole campground. All right, here's our trail information, basically showing, yes, there is a path all the way around Laura Lake. I'm down here right now. I've made it out to about there on the path and then somewhat over here. I'm going to make it to here because I'm going to show you the whole campground. So the campground, there's a stretch here, and the loop out here. And I'm out here on this loop right now on that point. There's also Lake Gordon over here, which has the beach and another boat launch. And we'll check that out before we go. Okay, site 39 here, reservable. And you can see he's barely on with his little camper, barely on before it drops off. So no, that's a very short site for a rig. So a good part of the reason why I want to show you this campground is this is a campground where you can, mosquitoes are nutty here, you can reserve it on recreation.gov. Some of the sites are first come first serve, others you can reserve. That last site I just showed you on the water with a camper in a very short space, that was reservable. Now 40 here is a first come first serve site. We are way away from that last site. This one is not on the water. It's actually fairly nice, fairly short, and with the stones stopping you from going too far. But I'm not going to put too much effort into the first come first serve sites, because if you come here, pay your $15, you can pick your site. They're all non-electric. Just find the one that works for you. All right, this is 41. It is reservable, but there are no reservations right now for this. Slight downward slope, but not bad. Very nice little site. Okay, site 30 here, non-reservable. It's got a bit of a slope up and in, and then very nice and flat in there. This one is nicely tucked in the woods. 28, non-reservable, pretty flat, slight downward slope, not a bad site. 29 over here is reservable. That is a steep slope up to a platform up top. So just know that one's got a very steep slope and it's pretty deep in the woods. All right, 27 here is reserved or reservable and has an upcoming reservation. This is actually very nice, flat, excellent site. You can hold a big rig in here, no problem. Remember, none of these sites have electricity. According to the sign, there's a bike route, so you can go mountain biking off that way. I don't know where it goes, but there you go. All right, I'm entering the middle loop section now. Now I'm showing you the reservable sites, but also know that if you get here and the sign doesn't have the dates you're here on that list, you can do first come, first serve and still take those sites. Oh, the mosquitoes. Yes. Site 26 is a reservable site. Now, it's a bit of a snug fit down between these trees if you have something long. Okay, site 25 here. Definitely need to know this. This is a very short pad before you hit a slope hill and then step up to where you'd put a tent if you wanted. You might be able to get a pickup and a pop-up, and that's about it. Site 24 over here, we're getting close to the water. Lots of room in that one. That is reservable. Site 22, first come, first serve, pad and an upper section. Site 23, reservable, easy access to the water. Site 21, quite a bit of room there, also easy access to the water. Site 20, first come, first serve, short pad and then drop off. Site 19, reservable, he is squeezed in with this site. There's plenty of room on the side, but front to back it's tight. And what was this one? Site 18, reservable on the water side. Not a lot of room up top here, but then you've got a big pad and full access to the lake down there. Okay, site 17, reservable. It backs up to the road. It's not going to be a problem at night or anything. This one has a very long stretch over here. Easily get something big over here with plenty of room to put out slides. There's a bit of a downward slope to begin, but then it gets flat. It's across the road from the lake, but you do have trail access right here down. And then across the way here. Site 16, first come, first serve. Just a very small front pad before you hit the rocks, and then your spot up here to tent with the next view out on the lake. Okay, that was the middle spur of the campground. And I'm going to work my way up to the front spur that ends at the boat ramp. Between the two spurs, this is where water access is and the campground host. 14 here is first come, first serve, fairly large, and good access to the lake. Okay, 13 is reservable down by the lake. Slight downward slope, but plenty of room to set up in there. 11 is first come, first serve. A lot of room here. You can have your big RV and your boat here with no problem. Over on 12, first come, first serve. That's a big rig, and they squeezed in here. 9 is also first come, first serve. They got a pretty big rig in there, and a second car. 10 on the left is reservable, and it goes back quite a ways into the woods. That's a fairly deep site. 8 reservable slopes up quite a bit before you get to a level spot up top. 7 is another first come, first serve, fairly large. 6, first come, first serve over here. All right, 5 is reservable. Seems fairly level where that trailer is on the water side. 4 over here, reservable. You do have the rocks to stop you from going too deep with that one and the tree, so it's not a very deep site. Don't expect to get something big in there. 3 over here. The pop-up's about right before you get to the rocks. Good use of that site. That's first come, first serve. Site 2, also first come, first serve. So there's a lot of first come, first serve on the water side. 1 over here is reservable. That's actually a paved pad where the camper is, it looks like. Now all these sites are $15 a night, payable at the pay station, and I do believe they take the golden pass, so you can do $7.50 if you're a senior with the right pass. So take advantage of that. And then after the end of the campground, we have our boat ramp, electric motors only. So it should be a nice quiet lake all the time. And it's not a big lake either. There is an island out here, I believe. So you can circle around that. Oh, maybe it isn't. I thought I saw an island. Now I still have the last couple sites to show you down by my site. But first we're going to go over to the other lake, Gordon Lake, which is smaller, where the beach is. Now I was very confused looking at my national park or national forest map, looking at the campgrounds. And on the map, I thought it said Laura Gordon Lake Campground. Well, it was more of a confusion of piling things on top of each other because you have Laura Lake Campground and Gordon Lake right next to it. So it's really just Laura Lake Campground. And Gordon Lake is this other smaller lake, also very pretty. And I don't even know if this one has a boat ramp, but a lovely beach. And again, I see no geese. Unlike, for some reason, they get attracted to the state park beaches. I haven't seen a goose on any of the national forest beaches that I've seen in the past week. So another beautiful beach. So if it's not just waterfront property you want, but also want to access the beach, you're going to want to get one of the sites from 1 up to the camp host. Those are the most easily accessible to the beach. Been to many of the other national forest campgrounds, and I should have a bunch of other videos up, about like 5 or 6 of them before this one on some of those. And I can continue to visit many more coming up. So like and subscribe if you want to see more like this. I also have already visited all of the Wisconsin state parks and a few other national forest sites in the past. And I'll have a playlist on those. So check those out if you're really interested in this kind of camping. So I'm doing these tours, so when you go to recreation.gov, and I went there when I looked at a site recently, and I kind of chose, you know what, I'm going to take my chances on first come, first serve once I realized they had about half the sites for first come, first serve. And realized that I think some of the sites they charge a premium for if you reserve them. But if you show up on first come, first serve and the site is available, you pay the 18 or 15 bucks a night. You don't have to pay a premium. So, and there's plenty, if you show up midweek, especially, of nice sites, really pretty sites that are first come, first serve and available. All right, here we are at the fee station. Like I said, 15 bucks a night. $7.50 with your senior access pass. Recreation.gov does have some reservations available, but you don't have to because a lot of them are first come, first serve. Bring cash, bring change. If you're only doing one night, you're going to need a 10 and a 5, not a 20 unless you want to give them extra money. And here's your basic map. We're here at the info station. That's 1 through middle loop, and then I'm going to go up and finish off this one. It's what I haven't shown you yet, and I'm out there and the beach is over here. All right, let's finish this up. Now my site is way at the end of the road and around the corner and down the hill, So it is a bit of a hike to walk back with your pay stub after you've chosen your site. All right, site 31, reservable. All right, this is 32, a little shorter than 31, non-reservable, so you get to do what you want. We are way up the hill from the water right now. 33, reservable in the woods. No one's booked this one for a while. Not huge, but not too tiny, and fairly flat. 34 is reservable in the woods here. It slopes up to a flat spot, not very large. 35, probably got something fairly large in there, but the fire ring will be over on the right if you do go for something large. And there's a hump there. That is reservable. 36 is reservable and a big slope up. Not a great site. It is flat up top, big enough for a pop-up or something like that. 37 is first come, first serve on the water side. Nice little trail going down. Comes with a chipmunk. And, fairly large and kind of wide. All right, so that's the campground tour. At the end here, I'm going to play you out with some morning sounds and visions along the lake that I took this morning at dawn. My number one recommendation for most of these state forest campgrounds, if you want to enjoy them, bring a screen house. You're going to want to sit in that. If you want to be outside, you're going to want a screen house. The mosquitoes have got me a little anxious at this point. But thanks for coming along. Keep an eye on the site. Like and subscribe so you can see this. If you want to share these sites with a friend, share the video. It's a good way for others to see what you found here and or on my other videos. So thanks for coming along. I'll see you on the next one. Get on out there and now enjoy nature.